So I'm just doing this with the phone real quick, no microphone or no real camera. And I just wanted to show some stuff, the reason why I do not like a King James Bible. And if you read the King James, that's totally up to you. I do not like it anymore. Because a lot of people, and I covered this in a video, they say Jesus went to hell. Now to me, that's like an evil thing to say when you say that. Now, to study a King James, you need one of these books right here. This is called a Strong's Concordance. I'm pretty sure the Strong's is simply to go with a King James. I don't think this goes with other versions, other translations. But this is my King James. This is my original Bible that was given to me by Jamie the guy. I actually cherish this because I wouldn't have become a Christian if he didn't give this to me. This is a new King James right here. This is the one, this one actually has a cover on it. This is the one that has all my notes. And I got all kinds of stuff from old Blessed Hope notes in here, all kinds of stuff. This one I really used a lot. Now I use a digital Bible, which I really love. But you need one of these to study this book. You can't just read this book. I mean, you can if you want to, you know. But you need this to go with it. This is how you actually study this particular book because it's a translation. Everything we have today is some form of translation. So nothing is going to be perfect. So in here, we were talking online about Luke 16:23. So I'll read it from the King James because it says, "And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom." This is the story about Lazarus and the rich man. And I covered this in the video, but I just want to show this. So that's what it says in the King James. In the New King James, it says, "And being in torments in Hades, he lifted up his eyes and saw Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom." Now, to me, this is more correct. Why? Why would I think this and someone who reads King James says this is wrong? Well, here's your Strong's. Okay, this goes with this. This is not, what do you call that when they put these, like these little footnotes right here? This also talks about it down here. I forgot what you call these but not, these aren't always correct because if I have like a John MacArthur Bible, or I used to, and of course, when you read in certain passages, you go down here, it's wrong because it talks about pre-trib and different things like that because he's a Calvinist. He's got all his Calvinist thoughts down here. But this one down here says, "Abraham's bosom, a place of honor in the abode of the righteous dead, and a place of comfort." And then it says, whatever that says, "Hades, the place of the dead, but in this case, clearly a place of torment, characterized by fire. A chasm between the two places prevented passage from one to another." Verse 26. So this, I actually believe that right there. I agree with this right here. But this one says hell. I disagree with that right there. I personally think that is a wrong translation to say hell right here. Because you have Gehenna, Hades, and Sheol. And I covered that in a video. But anyway, so let's open the Strong's. What is a Strong's? So Strong's, what you do is you find a word in here. Now this is so much easier on a digital Bible because you just click on the things and it takes you to here, really, is what the digital Bibles do. So you open this up. We were in Luke 16, 23, but we're looking for the word hell. So in this concordance, you're going to find the word hell, which is here. This is every single place in a King James Bible where they have hell. This is Revelation right there, and this is all the way back to, I can't read that. I can't. My eyes are so bad. I can't read all these little letters. This is terrible. I'm getting old. So we look up the word hell, and then we're looking for Luke 16:23. Well, let's go down here. Here it is. It is so hard to see this. It's so much better with the camera. I can actually see it in the camera, but not with my eyes. That's terrible. And it says, "In hell, he lift up his eyes being in." It's just showing you the part of the verse. Tells you to go to number 86. Okay, keep that in mind. We want to go to number 86. So you go to the back of the book. Now you have, see up here it says Hebrew, That's not what you want, because Hebrew 86 is going to be a completely different word. We want to go back here to where it says Greek. So once you get to the Greek, we're now going to look for the number 86. And we'll go down here to the number 86. What does it say? Hades. From, as a whatever that is. And I don't know how to read all this stuff because I didn't go to high school. I don't understand like nouns and verbs. I don't understand all that. Hades, or the place of departed souls, grave, hell. So this is telling you right here, it can be translated into the word hell or grave or the place of departed souls. But the actual word is right here, which is actually Hades in the Greek. So that's what it's telling you that word hell right there means. So if somebody is reading this and they're just reading it, they're going to say that. They're going to say, well, Jesus went to hell because that's what it says. And this rich man was in hell. And it's not. He went to Hades. Hell is what I refer to as Gehenna. But you need one of these books. If you don't have one of these books and you read this, you need this to go with it so you can actually study this book better. But this is why I like some of the newer translations. Now, yeah, there's some bad translations out there. I agree with that. Not every translation is necessarily bad. It depends on, let me flip this around. Depends on what you're going for, and I'm not saying that, all new translations are bad. I'm just saying be careful with some of them. Like a lot of NIVs are bad. And there's different versions of NIVs as well. I think Joe calls it the non-inspired version. I don't think it might depend on the people who make the book. I forget what you call that, like the publishing company. We used to have an NIV, not to read, but just to show people different things. And David didn't kill Goliath. It was some other dude. And there was other things like that in there where different people's names were changed and stuff. That's not in all NIVs. That's only like the one we had. I'd open up another one and it would be different. So I don't know if it had to do with publishers or years they were made. I don't know. So you do need to be careful with different translations. But this is where there's a verse, I don't know where it is. It says, study to show thyself approved. Well, I take that literally. Study. Like study. Not just study the word. Study, get deep into it. Look at the different translations. I used to sit here with a King James, a New King James, an NASB, and I used to have like 4 or 5 different Bibles, and I would actually study what did all of them say. But now we have all the digital Bibles, so I don't do that anymore. I simply just click around and start studying different words. So I just thought I'd say a couple things like that, and I'm just going to say, if you're a King James only person, so be it. I can't be that way, because they had the word before they had the King James Bible as well. And I think, some of the newer translations to me are better because, I don't know how to describe it because there's the oldest text and then there's the more texts. I forget what they're called. And, do the more texts, are they better than the older texts? I don't know. I don't get into all that. I should probably study a little bit more on that. I know Chuck mentioned, Textus Receptus and all that stuff. I don't understand that. I should probably study more of that stuff. But I have other things going on in my life that are more important than stuff like that. I think preaching the gospel to others is more important than a lot of this other stuff. As long as we're preaching the correct gospel to people, I think that's what matters the most. Not little tiny words like this. Unless you're talking about Jehovah's Witnesses and you're talking about a God in John 1:1. Yeah, that makes a difference. But little things like this, I don't think we should argue about stuff like this. It's stuff to know about and look into and really study. But I think preaching the gospel to the lost is more important than a lot of these other bickering things that go on in the church. But I just thought I'd show stuff like that. That's the reason why I personally do not like the King James. There's also somewhere in there it says unicorn, which in some translations translates to ox or something else, some other thing. Which if you look at like unicorn being translated as maybe like unicorn, could it be a rhino? It's stuff, but I don't think unicorn should have been put in there like that. I think maybe it should have been like unihorn or something. Some other ones say ox. I forget what the other word is. They got weird words that I'm not familiar with. But anyway, those are my thoughts on, the different versions and things. And it's about all I know for now. Let me know your thoughts.